How to pack all this onto a 2018 Honda Goldwing. Hey, welcome back to the channel. This is Night Climber. Thanks for joining me today. Today's quick tip is how to load the 2018 Honda Goldwing. I think some of the ways that I pack may help you, so stick around. All right, so we were able to tear down our campsite specifically to these items, not just these items. There's still more with camping that you always take, right? Like hatchets and fire starter and food and things like that. I'm just trying to show you generally how I pack and then all the little stuff you can fit in between. So right here is what we have at the core of camping. It's the poles for the fly, as well as the tent cover. I don't know about you, but I have an old tent, so it leaks a lot. So I got to cover it with a tarp. So I have poles for that as well. I have my sleeping bag, my sleeping pad. I have a blanket that's usually only on the shoulder months, so spring and fall. I have the tarp and the tarp poles, ground cloth. I have the tarp for the tent and the poles for that as well. I have my chair. I have my tent. I have a bike cover. I have a pillow, and then I have my cook stuff. So what I do is I put all that into these bags that then get loaded on the bike. This is the Kuryakyn Momentum Road Warrior bag. We have the Enduristan Tornado. This is a waterproof bag that sits on the tail. I got two bags that go into the side panels of the bike. These are just Cabelas heavy canvas bags. I'll list all the stuff in the description below. And then I just have a regular duffel that I pulled off of Amazon to fit those poles. So we'll pack all that into these and then we'll put it on the bike. We'll do the easiest part first. So for the side panels, we have clothes in there on one side. And then on the other side, we have shoes in our, I guess, toiletry kit, as well as like a sweatshirt and some extra clothes there. And then on the top box, we have our tarp, the tarp for the tent, and then the ground cloth. So flat stuff kind of goes in here, and we still have room for other stuff. All right, the next thing we want to do before we put on the Kuryakyn bag, we're going to want to put our duffel bag with the poles. We're going to put them sideways to the bike because there's really no other place for them to sit. We're going to do that with the rock straps. This comes in two parts for each one. I did make modifications to the bike to add the tie-down straps. The bike does have handles, but there's really no room between the handle and the seat itself. So these tie-down straps definitely help. So if you haven't used a rock strap, you just take it, you disconnect it into its separate parts. You slide it through the tie-down, go through the loop, and then that's one. All right, we have our rock straps on. We have our duffel with the poles. Oh, it does have a lot of loose cloth to it, so I like to kind of cinch it up, or at least fold it up so it's as tight as possible. I do want those poles to be flat, or as flat as possible, because I want to put the Kuryakyn bag on top of this. So once I have that, these poles are pretty long, so I'm trying to make that somewhat centered. And then once I have it, I take my rock strap, able to pull this over, clip one of them. All right. Make sure that's centered. That is tight. That's not going anywhere. It's up against the bike. And then I could cinch this down even further, and then the loose ends I just tuck under so they're not flapping around in the wind. All right, we want to put the Kuryakyn bag on top of that, but if you notice I have a little void back here, so since space is at a premium on any motorcycle, not just this one, I'm going to be putting my Helinox outdoor chair, or camp chair, back here. It doesn't need to be lashed down because that Kuryakyn bag is going to sit on top of it. to prevent it from going out, and as well as the sides of the bike are going to prevent it from going out as well. So I'm at least able to utilize that space and put something in there. You might find something else that would work for you. Here's the Kuryakyn bag. We put it on top of our poles in our chair. This is a great bag. It's big and it fits the Goldwing perfectly. It has a lot of tie downs, which is great. So we're going to be able to lash this to the bike pretty easily. So what we want to do is on the back side, we're going to want to lash it to these D-rings in our trunk rack right here. And then we'll do it on the front to those tie downs underneath the poles that we had put on earlier. So let me show you how this works. So on one end is the clip for the D-ring. So we can just put that on here. And then the other end, kind of like a rock strap. There, fold it through. All right, and then it just snaps in. We're gonna just take our ends here. It does have some Velcro at the end. We'll just put this, fold it back, take our Velcro. All right, that's not going anywhere. Should be good. All right, for the front straps, that works a little bit different. There's two swivels on this one, so it's not like a rock strap on one side. So it does disconnect just like before. We just connect it to that D. So with this one, we want to secure the front. So we did the back, so it's not going to go forward and drop it. So we want it to make sure that it doesn't go back. So we're going to utilize those same tie downs. We are going to leave this in place. All we're going to do is thread this through that tie down and then back through and hook it back. So I'm just going where we were with the rock straps. I threaded it through, put it on that D-ring, just take the end. I'm going to cinch this down, and that's not going anywhere. And then just like before, I'm going to take our loose end, take our Velcro, just secure it to the strap that's already on there, just so it's not flapping in the wind. All right, it'll all fit. The sleeping bag, somewhat fluffy, right? So you can kind of squidge it in a little bit. We want the bike cover, want the pillow, want the cooking pot and the stove, and then the blanket, and there's still room to put other things as well. Then it just cinches up. All right, moving on to the next thing. For the Enduristan waterproof bag, we're going to use the rock straps. So we're going to use a second set, same thing. Just going to lash these through. On the other side. As you can see on the Enduristan bag, it does have webbing in here that you can route those rock straps through. So I am going to cross these. There's one. All right, cinch that up. And then these straps, the loose side, just fold that under so those aren't flapping in the wind. And that is not going anywhere. This is solid. Okay, so at this point we have all the bags on the bike. They are secure. They have all our camping equipment on it. So we have a good form factor on this. It's not any wider than the bike itself. The side bags are still wider than anything that I put on the bike. And then when I ride, I can just use this as a back rest. You can just kind of lean back into it and it'll have some give to it when you ride. So this is how I camp. Hopefully this has been helpful to you. This is a quick tip for this week. Hopefully you're able to take away something that I did that may help you. And if you have an idea, please put it in the comment below. Would love to hear it.